Thank you very much for your words of introduction. I was thinking today, well, there'll be a video a little later, but I wanted to introduce myself by saying that we're the First Nations who opened the meeting today. The Chamber, in fact, was the only organization that was here when Canada started. For 192 years, people in business in Montreal have been therefore have been helped by the Chamber. And the Chamber has played a very important role both in the railroads between and the DNA and everything. So the business has played a role from the outset, a very visionary role, as we were told. I'm not sure that I'm the visionary, but in 1906, in fact, we were launching studies to get the metro, and we got it in 67. And that shows how visionary we were, but also how slow we are at actually getting any projects underway in Montreal. But I was thinking, and I'm going to show you this video of the Chamber, and I'll get back to it later. I don't really want to deal with the Chamber as such, so let me just play the video first, and then I'll get back to it.
La technologie.
Technology. Sound, please. Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you very much.
Ce n'est pas Moment Factory, c'est la Chambre de commerce.
This is, of course, the Chamber of Commerce and not Moment Factory. But what we wanted to do is I wanted to talk to you about how proud I feel. When I started at the Chamber, the message I heard from the business world in 2008, 2009 with the financial crisis is that we have to be very strong and create pride. And then, of course, we had the Charbonneau Commission right after that. And so 2017 should be the year when we will get back that pride and in all of the spheres of our society, in Montreal and Quebec. It's the 150th celebration of Canada, but it's also the 375th celebration for Montreal and the 50th year after Expo. So it's important that we in Montreal should also have some specific celebrations of the 375th anniversary and the 50th anniversary of Expo. So we're going to get that pride back, because we're going to do things that are going to be striking, and we're going to stand out, and we're going to show how successful we are. You know, in 1967, I know people were proud in Montreal. I know my parents have told me. All of a sudden, they had the impression that even on Japanese magazines, there were pictures of Montreal. We were put on the map, and that was a real pride. And now we have to get that pride back in 2017. As far as the Chamber of Commerce is concerned, we feel that first, of course, we have to have lots of fun in the celebrations, enjoy meeting and celebrating together. The image you get here is, were you there? Were you there in this video? So therefore, we have to have events and celebrations where people will be asking each other, were you there? So the image that I have is we have all kinds of bridges, for example, the Jacques Cartier Bridge, and should we not get that bridge to vibrate with our steps on it as we celebrate on the 1st of July? We should light up the Jacques Cartier Bridge using the Moment Factory techniques so that it'll look like the Eiffel Tower. And that's the image that we'll have. And should we not be doing that, and let's hope we'll have, and eventually also a good Champlain Bridge, but we know that the Jacques Cartier Bridge is actually a marvel of engineering. So we should be really proud, and we should be able to say to ourselves, we are proud to be Canadian, and that is the challenge that we have facing us. This is not a feeling that everyone shares. So are we all ready to actually engage and to mobilize and to really become proud of being Canadian in 2017? And that involves everyone, including the federal government. 2017 should not be a place where we all look at our legacies simply. And I know that, we could invite people to a stadium that's never been finished. So we can't have that. It can't be the Champlain Bridge that is never going to be built until 4 years later. And it can't be either the shuttle between the Trudeau Airport and the town. We talked about the silo, we talked about Place du Canada, which is also a real symbol, of course, because it's called Place du Canada, but that's also where the Canadians came to tell us that they loved us so much in 1995. And maybe we should get that place to become the real event and the focus of our event. But really, the essential thing is that it should be successful and that we should celebrate. I talked about Moment Factory and how we should light up the Jacques Cartier Bridge. We have to get our pride back when it comes to construction in Montreal. By 2017, we have to feel that across the planet, the greatest construction firms and engineering firms in Quebec are respectable firms, and we should be proud of them. So that is a challenge. We have to be working with the people here and making them stand out so that we know, for example, that the lighting is done by such and such a company, that this building that was restored was done by a local company. We need to have that pride in our local companies. The same feeling that we had, for example, when we finished the metro or we finished any dams and so on. At the end of the day, we have to feel that we belong, that these are our companies, our local companies, and that we are proud. And the sentence to remember is, were you there? Did you feel what we felt? If we can ask that and feel proud, then I think we will have been successful in our celebrations. Thank you. Have you noticed, ladies and gentlemen, something extraordinary? We have an economist here who's talking about creativity and pride and about having fun, not about figures. Isn't that amazing? Let me ask you a question. In your experience, please come closer to the mic, Mr. Leblanc. As an economist and as a CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, do you think that this pride will be able to be developed mostly by the SMEs or by the medium-sized companies or by the large-sized corporations? I think by all of them. I think that right now, and small and medium-sized enterprises, such as, for example, the Moment Factory, who was responsible for Madonna's show. I mean, it's a small company, but it's something to be proud of. On a world scale, it's a very small company. And we're also, of course, very proud of Bombardier. When someone in the middle of Africa says, this is a Bombardier plane. So anything you are successful at is a source of pride. I think we have to make our SMEs stand out and our large corporations stand out. So it's not the size that matters. I think it's the contact with the citizen and the message that is being transmitted. This week we had the president of SNC Lavalin who was there. We should collectively feel responsible, and we should feel that Bombardier belongs to us just like Moment Factory does. And in your experience, do you think it'll be easier to launch a small company here, or will it be more difficult? Well, I think that we have a greater understanding of what we should do now. We knew that we had an entrepreneurial problem for many years, but I think that people are going to start building new SMEs and creating new ideas very soon. Thank you very much.